Okay guys, so here's a quick 5-minute shoulder warm-up that I do every time I train shoulders. So I always start with some neck rolls because our neck is really very likely to get injured if it's not nice and warm before you start training shoulders. And I usually do about 10 to each side. I'm not even quite sure what you would call these. Basically, they're dynamic shoulder stretches where you're reaching up with one arm and down and back with the other. And this just starts to warm up the joint. Again, you can do 10 of these on each side. You want to be careful not to let your back arch too much. This isn't a back stretch, this isn't a chest stretch, this is a shoulder stretch. And likewise, this one is actually also a chest stretch. So here you're taking from the front and you're bringing your arms all the way out to the side, about 10 to 20 reps. Depending on how much time you have. But this is just to get those joints nice and warm. Now these warm up your internal and external rotators. So when you're bringing your arms up, you're externally rotating, and when you're bringing them down, you're internally rotating. So now I'm going to show it to you from the side. That's a stretch for your external rotators, and there's a stretch for your internal rotators. These are called scarecrows a lot of the time, and I like to do 10 up and 10 down. So now you're going to use a really lightweight band and just wrap it around a pole in front of you around chest height. And you might have to play with the tension of the band a little bit to get this right. And we're going to start with 10 face pulls. So this should be enough tension so that your shoulders are working, but not enough tension that it actually feels heavy while you're doing it. And you want to bring your hands right up to the sides of your head and bring them straight out on the downward portion. So now you're going to choke up on one side and put all the tension on the other side, and keeping your elbow in tight to your side, you're going to externally rotate that band outwards. So you're not pulling your arm away from your body at all. You're keeping it tight into your side. And external rotators is something that we really don't work very much in day-to-day life, and it's very easy to injure those little muscles inside your shoulder, which is why there are so many rotator cuff injuries. And this warm-up exercise in particular is incredibly helpful in preventing that, but the key is you have to do it every time. So now what we're going to be doing is a palms up. That's important to see. In this one, we're keeping our palms up, and we are going to be doing a rear fly. And you see I have to slide that up. You want the band to be on the pole right around shoulder height here. And we're going to do 10 of these. It's very similar to the dynamic stretch we did before, just light to warm up the rear delts, because they also are a pretty neglected muscle in day-to-day life, and it's important to get it nice and warm because they're small and they can be easily injured. Now this is kind of an interesting one. This is scapular retraction, and you're going to have to choke up on this pretty close with the band. And what I'm doing is I am literally just pulling my shoulder blades back and then letting them round forward, and pulling them back and round forward. And shoulder girdle is actually kind of a difficult body part to manipulate if you're not used to it. And for most good compound chest and shoulder exercises, it's good to make sure that you have your scapula retracted while you're doing it. So this just warms that motion up and gets your body used to doing it for the rest of your workout. And then from here, we're just going to do some regular palms facing inward rear delt flies with the band, just as a final motion for the shoulder warm up here. I guarantee if you do this before all of your shoulder workouts, your chance of injury is going to go way down.